Twitter posted. Get our bot in here. Get Discord posted. And we are good. Hello, everyone. This is Chris Ingerson, and it is September 10th, and this is the September 10th TextQuest Devstream. I do apologize. It has been well over a week. Um, schedule and disease has prevented me from keeping to my normal streaming schedule for the past week or so. I do apologize for that. You can still hear me being a little bit gross. Hopefully that will all be out by this weekend. Uh, Today we are going to be working on some quick polish for the build. I'm going to be showing over at Pixel Pop Festival in St. Louis this weekend. So I'm going to be making a build tonight and kind of going through stress testing it a little bit, just seeing where any possible issues come up. There are a couple of areas I would definitely like to clean up. The first thing that we're going to really do is going to be some quick edits to some textures. Primarily, we are going to be editing the stained window textures that we have here in the castle, because you can see here by looking at them, they are very, very difficult to read. And that stems largely from the divides being so prominent. They basically wash out the text beneath them, which makes it impossible to actually read. I'm also going to go ahead and get rid of the three words that are shown here, Domino Straco Fulgur, because they're not really relevant. They were just kind of something I threw in there. So I would like to clean this up a little bit, make it a little less just awful. And also get rid of some of these more annoying points where you can see we have like a partial break here. So we'll clean that up a little bit to start. Then the next thing that I really want to do is I would like to adjust the pedestals here a little bit, to give you a sense of what those look like in texture form. This is what this pedestal texture is using. So this top pedestal is what this top part is using, and that's actually fine. My main problem is I would like to have this centerpiece here, pedestal, instead of saying just pedestal. I'm going to turn on shadow shading so we can actually see this a little bit better. Instead of it just saying pedestal, I would like it to say stone, so that it's very obvious what it is. The plinth stuff, honestly, I feel like I should just really redo entirely. It's pretty awful. I pretty much, I think, need to just kind of re-UV that one. So we're probably not going to really address that too much today, just given the amount of time that that's going to take. But everything else we should pretty much be able to sort of adjust real quick. And if we get past texture adjustments, we are going to look at one of two things, well, probably actually just one of one things, which is going to be a couple of visual effects to really just make things look a little bit better. But at any rate, let's go ahead and get started with our stained glass window stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and open up stained glass window SPS. Yes, cat, I see you. And this one is actually a very, very old. Yep, there we go. Let's go ahead and say yes to all. I do apologize. I am probably going to be coughing a fair amount. I was going to say, did you fail to do it? All right. So this one is actually a pretty straightforward setup. What I would like to do here is, let's see, so I'm probably going to want to soften up some of this. Let's go ahead and go to 1024 by 1024. I think I need to soften up these jagged lines. The problem here is you can see that it's pretty, well, jagged, which is causing a few problems. We also don't want it to be quite as heavy when it comes to our offsets here, so we're going to need to do a couple of things. Excuse me. So the way that this is set up, the divides are actually over the stained glass, which is kind of how that actually works in real life. Um, the stained glass windows in real life are usually the glass is poking out a little bit further than the depression, so we might end up toggling this backwards, basically inverting it again. But for now, what I would like to do is, you can see this is just kind of multiplying these colors. These should probably just be a lighter color, which I guess actually that's not too bad. If I, let's go ahead and I'm going to grab this, pop out over here. We should have color. So the canes are what these are. Did I not expose the color itself? Oh man, I didn't. So that's going to mean that we need to actually redo this texture a little bit. So that's going to be, okay, that's a little bit more than I was expecting. I should have reviewed this. Oh well. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to drop down to here. We're going to go to textures, environment, intro, castle. Let's see here. So this is stained glass window. Are we doing interesting. So you are being used. Hmm. Let's see how I have this set up. So we have this with a single the color, but none of the masks. I see. I see. That makes sense. So we're going to want to go ahead and unlock this. We're going to turn masks off. We're going to turn normal off. So I just need to grayscale these, or white scale them, I guess. Let's go ahead and unlock this. Like I said, we're basically going to get rid of these. I don't think we really need them anymore. Let's go ahead and I am going to grab all of these. We are going to white scale these, white scale these, white scale these. Okay, and all we have to do after that is basically set these up. So we're going to want to do there's only going to be one big background, I guess. Go ahead and grab this, stretch this all the way down. We're going to make this black. All right, so let's go ahead and save this out. I'm going to delete these. Oh man, of course. Okay, so let's go ahead and start exporting these things. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and delete these. Yes. I'm going to delete both of these. Yes. Delete you. And we're just going to save this out as an SVG. So stained glass window, mask. Let's see, purple, mask red, mask yellow. Alright, so we're going to say, you know what, actually, can I just export one of these with all of them? That would work, I think. So actually, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and Control Z this. Okay. Okay. So we're gonna delete these and these. But we're gonna export all of this as one big thing. So let's go ahead and save this out as an SVG. It's gonna be stained glass window mask text. Okay. I'm gonna pop back over here. I'm gonna grab this, link that resource. Interesting. Are you... Let me see this. What's my text here doing? Okay, good. We don't have any anti-aliasing. Maybe it's just zooming in weird. Because it shouldn't have any sort of like anti-aliasing going on. I don't know what the softness is. Anyway, also I guess we're going to be doing art today. Start. All right, so let's go ahead. We are going to grab this. We're going to pull it out. I'm going to make that grayscale. We're going to go ahead and open that up. And then we're going to go ahead and I guess what we want to do is, see if we can get this. We're going to move these all down to here. Move this up to about here. And then we can, yep, if it wants to cooperate, properly scale you. Okay. So those are our masks. And now I'm going to go ahead and drag those off to the side for a bit. We have our colors. So before we were just using a flat texture, which now we do not need. This was, I believe, an SVG. But it was a colored SVG, and that's less useful to us. So let's go ahead and we're going to expose these. And we're going to do a couple of things here. So we're going to go ahead and say blend. We're going to go ahead and do this. And here's our opacity. So this is our, this is going to be basically our approach for the various text sections. We're just going to have them be masked out by their individual section masks from the text. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and copy this, paste it twice. Okay, I did that wrong, didn't I? How embarrassing. There we go. Alright, let's go ahead and put you there, put you there. Okay. So this one is going to go here, and this one is going to go here. Let's go ahead and just drag these all down to here so it's more apparent what's what. Alright, so this is our base color. Now we're going to need you know, we don't actually need this one, do we? We can kind of just do that. That saves us one whole calculation, which lets us move this back to here, which means that we can now move you all back to about here. And then, let's see here. So we want to handle color on an individual basis as well. So we will say, I suppose that makes sense. Alright, so we're going to need basically the same setup that we have up here. So we're going to add, actually, before I forget, you are clamped, right? Color mode, output color, pixel size. Yeah, okay, 16 by 16. So we're going to go ahead and add color. Okay, we're going to make this output size is going to be absolute. It's going to be 16 by 16. We're going to go ahead and just copy and paste this a couple of times. All right. By default, this color is going to be this. These colors are obviously not actually what we end up wanting because these are too faint. Okay. So, we're going to go ahead and blend. We will say yellow for our foreground, and then our opacity is going to be here. I want to do that as well. This is going to add a lot more colors than have to be generated, but at the end of the day, it's not too bad. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and paste this, and paste this, and okay. So these are going to go in order there and here. Background, background. Okay, and these are now going to go on top of another background that we want. So color is about to get way more vertical, basically. So let's go ahead and try to keep some consistency here. I'm going to delete this, delete this. We're going to move the reds to be in the back, and then yellows, and then purples. We're going to go. Okay, there's that. Let's get rid of this real quick. It's going to break that, but that's fine for now. That's our text colors, and now we need our actual background colors. So we're going to have to do the same thing up here. We're going to copy basically all of these. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Copy these. Paste these. We're going to move these up. All right, so I'm going to put these roughly in order. I don't know why I moved those around. They're the exact same thing. So this is going to be text, backgrounds, and then this is going to be the calcum, or not calcum. What's the term? We had it. It's something. Canes. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead. So these are going to now be respectively. This is going to go straight into this, and then we're going to have our yellow background followed by our purple one. All right. So we're going to do a blend. Foreground, that's going to be our background. Relative to parent is what we want. What on earth is going on here? Huh. That's interesting. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah. I got you. So this is going to be, I gotta change this. This is going to be relative to parent, relative to parent, relative to parent. This is also going to be relative to parent, and then relative to parent. And then this is not going to be overlay. It's just going to be copy. Or, I guess, overlay. Is that actually correct? Yes, that's what we want. Although multiply actually does look pretty decent. Move this back down to here. So let's go ahead. We're going to say File, Open Recent, Stained Glass Window, AI. We're going to go ahead and grab our normal because we got to get rid of these. So we're going to get rid of U2. Delete. We're going to come over here to our normal. Delete. Delete. And then this, there's no reason for these two things to be one, or to be three things. They're going to be one big thing. Let's go ahead and save that. SVG. Stained glass window. We want the normal. There we go. Save that out. I should probably change that on the actual thing. Do, 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 and we're going to change these. So they're just one thing, no reason for them to be three. Okay. All right, let's hop back here. It should update properly. All right, so this is kind of working. We need to soften up these edges now. They don't need to be so harsh. And then let's go ahead. All right, let's try to organize these a little bit. Man, really? I guess it works. Whatever. So we're going to do that. This will come down to here. We're going to move this down to here. This is now the master blend node. I'm just going to go there. And then these things go down to here. Out one. Okay, that's a little bit more in order. We can get rid of this. These are not correct, are they? I feel like they're not. Let's go ahead and grab this. Yeah, they're slightly different. They're just so subtle that it's impossible to tell. All right, so there we go. That's a lot more primary colored. Looking good, looking good. All right, so we're going to do a couple of things. Let's see if I need anything else before. Let's go ahead and soften these up first. So these are going to be our text things, our text masks, which we're going to put up right about there, I guess. I don't like having this jumble of chords here. Let's see here. The next thing we're going to need to do is do some levels and softening on this. So this is our cells. See if we can find one that we like a little bit more. Four. See, cells 4 is actually what you would use for this type of thing, except I don't actually want them to have different colors. So that's less useful than I would like. So I guess we're kind of stuck with cells 2, but we need to soften these up. They're too sharp. So I think we can either do blur, which is obviously too intense. I'm not exactly happy with doing blurs. Disorder of 50. All right, so here. This is a very odd disorder problem. So I think we have a couple of things that are showing through here, but only just like a. Well, actually no, it looks pretty good here now. Got a couple of issues like that, but it's pretty small, so that's okay. I'd like to fix it if we can. There we go. The main thing is I'm just trying to avoid those random emptinesses, I guess. Like this is tolerable, I guess. All right. So here's that. Let's see what that looks like when we plug it into some of our positions instead. Actually, that's not too bad. And bam. Jeez. I just don't have a good way to soften anything. There's blur and blur and directional blur. I just don't like. Yeah, we don't need that. Blur node should be fine. So this is all right, I think. Of course, there's always one. I'll find it. It's not too bad. It mostly is a little jarring because the fonts are very crisp, but these lines are somewhat blurry, which makes them look weirdly detached. Well, excuse me. Something I guess we can try is I'm gonna make these. I'm gonna make these be. Why on earth would I do that? That's a very weird way for me to do that. I'm actually going to bypass this node right here. So I'm not going to have an inversion. I'm just going to try to see what this does without that. Subtle. I kind of like having the glass have these little rounded points for the light coming up. That actually looks a lot better to me. Okay, so that means is this even needed? It is not. Okay, so we can get rid of that. All right, so we have eliminated one full blend, which is nice. And we no longer need this node, which is also nice. Okay, so that actually worked out pretty well. Let's go ahead and slide you over one. All right, so you know what? I think that's actually pretty good. What is it? D, I think. Let's go ahead and say. Okay, so that's all good. Locked at 512 by 512, as is this. Okay, so that seems to be pretty good. Let's go ahead and adjust some of our colors now. Let's see. real quick. I'm going to see what my exposed parameters are. So we have color. We should change this. So this is going to be top cames color. Top cames. Go back here, making sure that all that's persisting. This is left cames. Left cames. And here is right cames. Right cames. Alright. These are going to actually be a little bit brighter, I think. I want them to be more subtle. They're a little dramatic right now. Keep them at that color though for now. Let's go ahead and we're going to say, so we're going to expose this as new. It'll be top color. Yeah, I guess that's fine. Left color. Right color. Expose this. This is going to be top text color. Okay. Expose this. This is going to be left text color. Alright. And then expose this. New. It's going to be right text color. Alright. Okay. So what we want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and grab these. I'm going to pull these. I'm going to grab these and try them again. I'm going to pull these down to here. Well, you know, let me like drag you. There we go. Okay. So those go one block above. Try to make these line up. The others right about there. All right. So all of those are now in place. That's looking pretty good. I kind of wonder if we need that. Back down here. I guess we'll keep that. Okay, so we have that working for us. All those colors are exposed. Let's go ahead and adjust those, and then we should be good. All right, so this is going to be top background. It's going to be the color group. Let's go ahead and review. This is in the left background, the color group. Right background in the color group. Top text in the color group. Text in the color group. And then right text in the color group. All right. So let's do this in order. Text. All right, so that's a lot more things in the color group. Normals, all that stuff doesn't really need to change. Hello, Garrett. Welcome back. How you doing tonight? All right, so I think that's pretty good. We should be able to just export that, and it'll be all nice and neat, and then we can adjust our textures to see, or our colors to see what we get. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to delete this because we don't need that. And now all we should have is some masks. I'm actually curious. Let's see. We have a 10 kilobyte. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. 11 kilobytes for this. Let's see if it's larger or smaller. Mm. It's all good. Ha! Slightly smaller. All right, let's go back to Unity. We will select this. I'm going to say Show in Explorer. Grab you, move this over. Let's go ahead and move this. Boom. All right, got everything shuffled around now. Let's go ahead and that is still doing okay. William just announced the Apple Arcade version of MG, so congratulating him. Nice. Yeah, I saw his post on Twitter before the stream went live. That's pretty cool. All right. So let's go ahead and adjust this. We want. So we're gonna adjust our Kames amount and maybe our window. I feel like this is a little. I feel like our text is just too. Yeah, that's a lot better. We need darker text. I think basically we want our. Okay, not that far then. Go ahead and pop over here. Purple actually doesn't look too bad already. I think we're good there. I think yellow and red are just a lot brighter, so they need to be a lot darker. Okay, and now these need to be a lot less ridiculous. Ugh. So these need to be a lot closer, I think, to the actual. Actually, just out of curiosity, what happens when we do make them the same? It's a little too. So we want them to be sort of farther right. But yeah, I'm curious to know if there are any particular challenges getting it to run on Mac, because I know a lot of my Mac machines have been pretty underpowered and have quite a bit of difficulty running certain APIs, which can be very frustrating. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move this up a fair amount. About there. It's not looking too great. Somewhere right about here-ish. Yeah, it's looking good. And then same thing here. We're kind of going to like bump this up, move this over. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And having the stained window is pretty nice. Okay. So yeah, now that's a lot more legible. So we, instead of the Kames just making it utterly impossible to read the text, now now it's going to be a lot easier to read that, I feel. Just because you don't have the Kames covering it up and sort of being the higher contrast, so it's going to be a lot easier for us to read this. Okay, so that was a nice, easy one to work with. Let's go ahead and close all this fun stuff. Let's hit save. Yeah, I was going to say, I thought Apple Arcade was also Mac OS. Although, even so, iOS seems even harder to deal with. Just because it's iOS. I mean, it definitely sounds like he's spun up a bunch of ports, so I assume he's got quite a few different people helping him out with that. All right, so all right, so I do kind of like that. Real quick, I want to pop into the scene and walk around and see what that looks like, just so that we can properly see it. You could say that the scope of it is many-fold times the amount that people expected it to be. How's Texas going? It's going all right. I've been sick for the past like week, which has basically prevented me from doing any sort of dev stream. Um, we're gonna go ahead and do no clip while we're at it. Um, but it's been coming along a little slower than I would like. So this, yeah, this actually looks okay. I feel like the games should be a different color, but I just can't make them high contrast. Otherwise, I'll get problems. So, I don't know. Eventually, I feel like maybe this was something that I'll have to come back to and make a much more advanced lighting situation. As it stands, the three of these windows are just three different area lights with different colors. But it might be better to actually try to make them stained glass windows with actual designs in them. That would be more difficult for me to work with procedurally. Obviously, that'd be a lot more effort on my part, but I think we're going to need that level of detail if we want to do anything, well, in particular with it. So, okay, but that looks a lot better than it used to, so I'm happy with that. Let's go ahead and stop playing. The next thing that I would like to do is I want to see these objects. So this is the pedestal. I would like to, if possible, we're going to hop over to the modeling. Yeah, I didn't want to do transparency on them because there's nothing really to see out there, and I wanted to have the color be a lot more apparent. So let's go ahead and grab this. I want to open up, I want to go to Window, actually I want to go to Tools, Pro Builder, and then Editors. No. I always forget where this is because I usually do this through the, I'll just pull up the Pro Builder window. UV Editor. All right. So you can see that this is, let's go to face mode. There we go. So we have lots of room here actually for this, which is good. So I can basically just fill in this area with stone, and I think that's all we'll need to do to this texture. But yeah, I've actually felt a little burned out recently for working on Text Quest, and I think that's largely just been that a lot of things outside of my game development life have, it's just a schedule shift that I'm still trying to get used to, and I need to do better at that, because I need to do better at that. But yeah, things have been going a little bit slower than I would have liked, and that's largely been my fault. Uh, how's your prototype game been coming along? All right, so yeah, I think we're gonna want to do that. Let's go ahead and export this snapshot. We'll make it line color black. I guess we could do blue. Green is also acceptable. Let's do a save template. We're gonna call this like, I could never spell pedestal. Pedestal. UVs. Yeah, let's go ahead and close that. That should have dumped it out to here. Explorer. I'm kind of mad that you exported the texture. Why would you do that? Let's go ahead and try this again. Okay. Weird. Whatever. Let's go ahead and try that again. Okay, that's not what that means apparently. I guess let's try this one more time. I'm going to turn you off and let's try this. There we are. It's still black because of course it is. Okay. Once more under the breach. Um, oh, hey Taylor. Yeah, I'm doing a bunch of random stuff today actually. Mostly to help optimize the build or the demo build for Pixel Pop this weekend. So let's go ahead. I'm going to try and take a snapshot one more time. We're going to do a transparent background, yes, with green. And that's all we should need. So let's try exporting this one more time. All right, I'm going to do pedestal UVs, hit save, yes. It's still black, but whatever. Let's show this in Explorer. Okay, I guess that black is just weirdly a thing that Unity's doing. Cool, whatever. Um, so let's go ahead and we're going to jump over to here. I'm going to keep that open. We're going to want to go ahead and go over to Castle, and that was what actually was that material? Materials. Castle garden props. All right. So we're going to need castle garden props. Castle torch throne. Castle throne, pillar, garden props. Here we are. Let's open this up with Illustrator. All right. Let's see. Well, that's not my custom tooling. That's Pro Builder. So, okay. So let's go ahead and we're gonna jump down to here. So we want to. I'm gonna turn off masks, turn on the base. Actually, we don't need this. I'm guessing that was already. So we need to change pedestal here from pedestal to stone. And while I'm at it, let's go ahead and pull that UV in. Grab that. That's not what you should have done. Let's try this again. I'm going to grab this and we're going to put that there. There we go. Okay. I don't know where you put it. Right there. So we're going to put this all the way up at the top here. Okay, one more. Oy. I hate when it can't detect nesting very well. There we go. And it won't let me restructure it. Ah, you suck. Okay, fine. So we're going to do this. Seriously? Whatever. I don't know why it's doing that, but we don't need it to do anything. Let's go ahead and snap this in right there, get this centered. All right, so this is our UVs that we're working with, and we're going to basically just set up some text to say stone here repeatedly. We need to make sure that it tiles seamlessly, which is going to be interesting, mostly because the top is slightly larger, so it won't play nice with the others. It should be fine. All right. So, I'm going to go up here. Just one more. You won't let me have it, will you? Let's put you here. It's so weird. Whatever. So it just won't let me put it in the root. All right. So we need to go to pedestal. This is our main, I think. Yeah. So we're gonna turn this off for now. Actually, no. We're just gonna reuse this. So let's go ahead and grab this, and I'm going to move this up. Lock you and lock you. I'm going to grab this, and we're going to move this up to here-ish. I guess we'll want to do... Oh, man. Okay, so we're going to have to reposition the UVs on this one a little bit. I think we need to move the side UVs, which is this more rectangular shape, down to be the bottom, to be lined up with the bottom of the top UVs, because in the middle they're going to have weird overlap. But yeah, also thank you for following me, Taylor. So for this, we're going to go ahead and, if you'll work with me, come up to here, I'm going to say stone, and oh boy, it's my favorite word of all time. Let me tell you, I am not at all going to go slightly insane, just using the word stone again. And for this, we are going to just type it out a few times. Stone, stone. So we need to make sure again that this tiles perfectly, which means that we need to either grow the text or shrink it. Given how large this is, let's go ahead. Where are you, Unity? So this is what we're kind of going to be looking at. That pedestal was a little too... Well, it's all right. That's actually about the size of the text that I want. But let's go ahead and try to make it larger slightly. I don't want to go smaller. That's going to cause problems. So let's go ahead and grab this. We're going to grab our text settings. We're going to set our... Oh, excuse me. We're going to set this to 0. That's looking pretty good, actually. So we're going to go slightly smaller. Let's go to -50. Okay. We're going to go, again, slightly smaller. Also, I'm going to go ahead and lock a bunch of stuff so I don't accidentally end up moving it around. Okay. So we're going to grab this, and we need to go slightly smaller. We'll probably have at least one of these be a perfect fit, so we want it to be something like that. So we need to shrink into 75. Oh, we didn't do it. Shrink into 75. Nope, not enough. 100. Close. It's slightly too big. So let's try bumping this down to 10. Right. Okay, so we're going to bump this down to 42. And then we're going to increase this to 50. Okay, we're getting closer. That's pretty good. Okay. So looks like we need a size of 42 and a spacing of -25. That works pretty well. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. Boop. We're going to drag this down here. I'm going to grab this. And we're going to type stone one more time. Okay, I didn't want to do it in the middle. I wanted to do it on the side. Like that. So now we can kind of give this an offset right about there. And we're going to go ahead and just duplicate that a few times. So, let's duplicate stone, stone, stone. We're going to move this down. And then we're going to go ahead and... What distance were you from that? So you're at a height of... Let's try to flatten these out, I guess. We'll make this 48y. No, that needs to go up, actually. Okay, we're going in reverse. Let's go to 45. Looking pretty good. So this is 145. Let's make this 180. Too close. Needs to be a little bit further. 185. So about 40 distance. That seems about right. So this is going to be what, 125? Oh, no, I'm sorry. 225, right about there. Let's go ahead and slide it over here-ish, right about there. We're going to try to give it a nice bit of zigzag so that it doesn't look like it's one sort of wave. We want it to make sure that it doesn't look like it's all angled the same way. We're going to go ahead and duplicate that. We're going to go ahead and go down here, and we're just going to say plus 40. Okay, we're going to move this over to the left. Let's go ahead and put it there. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. Oops, not delete, duplicate. Do. All right, we're going to go ahead and come up to here. I'm going to do plus 40 again. I'm going to slide this to here. It's looking pretty good. We might end up adding a little bit more vertical padding because I don't think we have enough room for two. We've got enough room for one more line, it looks like. So let's go ahead. We're going to duplicate this, and we need to take special care that, oops, actually before we do that, we're just going to add 40 to that. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have to add like 1 pixel, I think, to each one. So let's go ahead and slide this. We want it to be roughly, hold on, should be like that. Like that. There we go. We need to make sure that we're careful so that this S and this S don't get too close. So I'd probably actually want to do something like this. Or like that. I think that's pretty good. It is very hard to tell where the lines end and begin here. I'm getting a lot of overlap. So I don't think this is actually tiling quite perfectly. It's very close, but it's not quite perfect. So we're going to have to be careful here. I'm going to zoom in, and we're going to scroll over here. So this outside line is the one that handles our scrolling, and this outside line on the left handles that one. So we actually need to bump this over to the left. Oh man, it's like that's pretty rough. Okay. Let's see. So you're past that. No. Ah, dang it. They're slightly too thin. So I've got to space these out just a little bit, just a smidge. Okay. Let's go ahead and real quick, I'm just going to add 5 to this. We're going to make this 50. That's pretty good, but I think we can do a little bit better. Let's go ahead and add 10. And 5 more. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so we're going to add, I'm going to say 10 to this. I'm going to say, actually, you know what? Add 2 more to that. We're going to add, let's do 10 to this. Add 8 to this. Add 6. I think that looks good. It's a little hard to tell with the lines overlapping the way that they are, but I think that works. And like I said, we need to do some UV adjustments on this, which is going to be annoying, but we can do it. Let's go ahead and we need to get the top here too. Yeah, that complicates things a lot. I'm trying to think about how we can do that in the least painful way here. All right, let's hop back to Unity real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. We're going to grab our UV editor. We're going to go over here to face. I'm going to grab this. And I'm going to grab all of these. Oh, man. Okay, good. And we're just going to line them up at the bottom here. Right there. Let's go ahead and hit save. We're going to take a picture. Colors are going to be green. Like that. Save that UV template. Pedestal UVs. Save. Okay, fortunately this should link. Yes, I want to update that. So we'll now see these UVs as the updated form. And now I can grab all of these, slide them down to about here. And then I should be able to duplicate one more. Oof, that's a little rough, but I think we'll be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate one more here. Duplicate that, and we're going to drag it all the way up here to the top. Just trying to offset this. Can't have the O. Can't use the N. Can't. The E is probably the best here. This is a part of the texture that no one's ever really going to see, so it's okay. And we're going to be, admittedly, I'm going to be a little bit lazy here, and I'm going to just. Oh shoot! Hold on, that might backfire. We need to go back to Unity real quick. Let's go ahead and we're gonna export these UVs as well. These are gonna be red. Save this. That's gonna be our plinth. All right. Well, thanks for stopping by, Taylor. Sorry, I kind of got stuck in the weeds of UV editing. That's not exactly the most exciting thing to tune in for. I'll see you later. All right, so we're going to go ahead and jump back here. I'm going to zoom out. We're going to go ahead and drag in this file. Okay. So now, yeah, that's what I was worried about. So I need to basically trim off these extra letters, which is not really too bad. Put you up here. Unlock you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to get rid of these. And then we're going to slide. Actually, hold on. Oh my goodness. There we go. So it looks like we were working with ease. So let's go ahead. Get rid of these. Move this over to here. Okay. Then we have this one, which we were wrapping our ends with. Okay. And then the only other one we need to worry about is this, which we can circumnavigate by doing nothing because it has to be an E. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. Grab this, slide it over. We're going to do another E in the center. All right, so that works pretty well. And I'm just going to cheat by moving this UV down, basically. And then we should be good. Okay, so that's all we needed to do for those. Let's go ahead and save that. And then I'm going to copy this. Select this, we're going to copy. I'm going to unlock all of these fun things. We're going to open up our masks. Why you do that, I'll never know. I hate when you do that to me. So let's go ahead and delete this. Unlock this. We're going to copy, we're going to duplicate this. I'm just going to put this up here. Okay, I'm going to lock this. Alright. Now, turn you off. Alright, so all that seems to check out. Let's go ahead and save this. We're going to collapse all this. Turn you off. We're going to delete this. We're going to turn off that. We're going to turn out the base. All right. So what I need from here is, I believe that's my normal map. Let's go ahead and so we have garden props, mask bench, bench text, mask fountain. Let's see, mask pedestal text. All right, fine. So I guess the only thing that I really need to update here is pedestal text, I think. So let's go ahead and turn this on. We're base. Delete these. You suck so hard sometimes. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and move over to here. Castle Garden Props. We're going to open this up. I want to see what my textures are. Yes to all. Okay. Okay, so these were the same. So that means I can go ahead and come over here. We're just going to go ahead and say file save as PNG or an SVG. This is going to be Castle Garden Props. Castle Fresco Garden Props mask fountain text pedestal and mask pedestal text. Let's go ahead and save that. Yes. Come back here. Boom. There's that. These are now updated. And that's all I needed to do, actually. Fun fact. So everything should have followed suit, and we now have, yep, that looks pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and save this. Don't have to do anything else beyond that. We're going to save that out as stained glass. Oh, that was weird. Castle Garden Props SPR. Oh, cancel that. There we go. There we go. That was the correct thing to do. I'll put that in here. Let's go ahead and drag that in. We're going to hit save here. All right. That. And this is what I was talking about. I feel like that actually should be largely empty, but it's okay. That, yeah, I like that. I feel like it should be a different color from pedestal, but I think it's okay. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm just going to totally cheat. Grab these. Get rid of you. We're just going to move this down so it's a slightly more centered affair. Right about there is pretty good. All right. And from there, we can go ahead and I'm going to check out my UV2s. That's looking pretty good, question mark. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. All right, so let's go to Object. I'm going to save the scene. It's probably going to take a second. Paranoia sets in. All right, let's go ahead and re-export this. We're going to go down to Tools, Pro Builder, Export, Export Asset. Pro Builder Models, Castle Garden Props, Pedestal. I'm going to go ahead and do a new folder, Archive, and a new folder again. New. I'm just going to call that Pedestal Prefab. Okay. Here is our new pedestal. It's a lot better. Here's the old one. It's almost as good, but sadly we do have to change some things. So these are going to go into Archive for now. I will delete those in a second. Pedestal, that's there. All right. So let's hop over to the main castle scene. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to select this pedestal. Oh, it's just literally the pedestal. All right. Let's go ahead and grab that, I guess. Grab this transform, copy component. We're going to paste component values here. Grab you. We're going to put this over here. It's going to be darker because it doesn't have the any of the light maps on it. I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this in. Let's go ahead and grab this, copy component. We're going to paste this here, paste component values. Don't know what happened there, but sure. Pedestal. Let's go ahead and grab that. Grab this. All right. So let's go ahead and I'm going to hit play. I'm just going to fly around for a bit, take a look at it, make sure that things look pretty decent there. I should have checked to make sure that everything lined up, but all of those UVs are lined up perfectly, so they should tile pretty much seamlessly. You can't really get a good look at it. Okay. So I need to adjust that slightly, actually. But really, only on this 1S, it looks like. So if I just slide that over a little bit, I think we'll fix that little gap there. So that's that actually turned out pretty well. You need to change, however. So that's a thing. So these UVs need to be flipped. It's a small detail, but it is one. It's actually, oh wow, that is a detail that literally no one can see. I do not think it's possible for them to see it, but I'm a perfectionist. Okay. So let's go ahead and adjust those things real quick. So we're going to pop over to here. We're going to say File, Open Recent Files, Castle Garden Props. I don't think this is ever used, but we're going to go ahead and unlock this. We're going to go over to Pedestal. We're going to go over to Main. And which one is this? That's not quite right. So this is the third one down. That's actually going to be the fourth one down then. And I shouldn't have deleted those, but of course I did because I'm stupid. Then we're going to go ahead and pop back here. So it just needs to be moved over to the right. Right there, I think we'll do it. Okay, so that's safe now. Let's go ahead and save that out. Let's save that. SVG, Castle, Garden, Props, Pedestal text, that's what we want. Hit save. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and pop over to here. Very, very slight. We're going to go ahead and export that again. I'm going to re-import that. Ah, I went one too far. Okay, let's try that again. I'm just going to cheat. We're going to do this. Okay, open this up. Kapow. Bam! There we go. Fixed it. All right, so now I can do that real quick on the actual main one. So we're going to pop over to here. I'm going to grab you, and I just need to do that. So now those are all properly set up. So let's go ahead and why are you just like awkwardly sized? We're gonna go ahead and pop over to here real quick. I'm gonna swap these UVs just so they are lined up appropriately. We're gonna pop over to you know what? That was all fine. Castle modeling. Okay, we're going to grab this again. I am going to do some slight modifications here. So here, 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 and here. Oh man. Okay, so this needs to be, what, 270? This needs to be 0. This needs to be 180. I'm guessing this needs to be 90. There we go. Small details, but you know what I always say. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that. I'm going to go ahead and go over to object mode. I'm going to grab pedestal. We are going to go ahead and go to Tools, Pro Builder, Export, Export Asset. And then we're going to go to Pro Builder Models, Castle, Castle Garden Props, Pedestal. I'm just going to dump it right there. All right. We're going to go back to the castle real quick. And we're going to go ahead and grab this. Pull our pedestal in. I'm going to duplicate this. Both of these, we're going to call them pedestal, okay? And the first one's going here. Component, component values, we're going to drag, oops, that was not what I wanted to do. There we go, I'm going to grab you, and then copy component, component values, drag that. Very, very subtle, but the details are nice. All right, cool. So that works pretty well. And it's 8:50, so we're probably going to call it a night there. There are a few other things that I'm going to be focusing on before I get over to Pixel Pop this weekend. I want to add a animation at the end of the demo instead of having it just do like a hard smash cut to black. I would prefer it to like kind of blow you away and you have this magical fade out. We'll see if I can get that to look good. But some quick announcements before we end the stream. Like I said, this coming weekend, I'm going to be over in St. Louis showing at Pixel Pop Festival, which means I'm not going to be doing my weekend dev stream. It also means that Thursday night, I'm not going to be doing my dev stream. I know I just got back on air after being off for quite a while due to sickness and schedule conflicts, but I'm going to need that. I'm going to need Thursday for final build walkthroughs and final polish. So basically, the next two dev streams are not going to be airing. We should be good to get back on our normal schedule again next Tuesday, at which point I'll be talking about feedback from Pixel Pop, as well as some plans moving forward that I need to address. So I think that's a pretty good place to stop for the night. Excuse me. All right. So, as always, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.